Welcome all. Today we will start with the chapter number 3, Poverty as a Challenge. In this chapter, we will discuss about many concepts of the poverty which is we seen in our daily life near to you. Two types of causes of poverty, poverty seen by the social scientist, what is poverty line, poverty estimates, vulnerable groups, interstate disparities, global poverty scenario, causes of poverty and anti-poverty measures, and many other concepts which we will discuss in this chapter. What is poverty? As we know, all human beings require three basic needs. What is this? Food, cloth and shelter, which we call in Hindi roti, kapda or makan, which is the basic necessity of every human being. What is that? Food, cloth and shelter. These are the basic requirements. Those who are unable to fulfill all these basic requirements. What is this? Roti, kapda or makan. Food, clothing and shelter are considered as a poor people. The most difficult challenges faced by the independent India is poverty, garibi. Poverty trends in India and the world are illustrated through the concept of the poverty line. What is poverty line? It is an imaginary line organized by the government. It differs from country to country. The persons whose total income is beyond that poverty line decided by the government of that country is considered as the BPL, below poverty line, garibi rekha ke niche. The estimated income and the poverty line measures are decided by the government of that country. As we know, the income of every country persons is differ from country to country. That's why government of that country decides the poverty line ratio of income. Poverty is a situation where individual is deprived of the basic necessities of food, clothing and shelter, as we discussed. Many kids, mostly kids, are suffering from poverty generated problems like malnutrition and illiteracy. Illiteracy you must be knowing, unpad. And what is malnutrition? Yes, कुपोषण का शिकार हैं. They are not able to get proper protein, vitamin, carbohydrates in their diet which they are required for the growth and development of their body and for the sound mind, which is must. So because of this poverty, many kids are suffering from malnutrition and illiteracy level. According to the United Nations, about 25,000 people per day die due to hunger. भूख से मरते हैं 25,000 लोग. And here I would like to say, kindly don't waste the food, use it properly. It's a God-gifted thing to you. In our daily life, we come across many persons who think we are poorer. For example, we are taking landless laborers. They don't have the land. They are forced to work in others' farms. Daily wage workers, child workers in dhabas. Many often when we go in the cars to highways, we see in the dhabas. Chotu pani lana, chotu table saaf kar, chotu glass utha. They are the child workers in the dhabas. Beggars. This is the scenario, this is the chart. In India, every fourth person is a poor. This means nearly about 270 million people in India lives in poverty. This is the data of 2011 and 2012. According to it, nearly about 270, I repeat the data, 270 million people lives in the poverty. Matlab, they are not getting their basic necessities of food, clothing and shelter. Two typical cases of poverty are there. One is the urban and another one is the rural case. Let us discuss with the urban case. Here is the story of Ram Sharan. Ram Sharan is a worker of daily wage labor who earned daily. Farms पे जाता था, काम करता था, पैसे लेकर आता था. He earned rupees 1500 rupees per month. ठीक है? And there are other members in the family which we discussed. His wife Santa Devi, she's a part-time maid, earned rupees 800. His elder son, he's a helper in a tea shop, he earns rupees 300. And his younger son, who is 10 years, daughter take care of the other siblings all. There are how many number of members in the family? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 members are there in the family and their total earning is nearly about 2600 rupees per month. 2600 rupees per month for 5 members. Do you think it is sufficient for a family for their food, clothing and shelter? Let's leave the clothing and shelter. What I personally think, in rupees 2500 for a month, they are unable to even take proper meal. 5 persons are there, they have to manage. None of the children go to school. They have only 2 pairs of clothes. Repeat line. They have only 2 pairs of clothes. The younger kids are undernourished, not healthy. They have no access of the healthcare facilities. When they fall ill, जब भी वो बीमार पड़ते थे, they don't have the amounts to go to the doctors and purchase medicines. For this sake, our government has issued many health centers where they are getting free of cost medicines and doctors consultations. Now I am talking about the rural cases. Another example of Lakha Singh. Lakha Singh do odd jobs in the farms and earn rupees 250 per day. He is a landless farmer. Now, he often is kind, like generally he got something dal, wheat and vegetables for doing work. He always not get the amount in cash, but sometimes in the count. भाई तुम आज दाल ले जाओ, आज तुम चावल ले जाओ, आज तुम ये सामान ले जाओ. Sometimes he got cash and sometimes he got in kind. His family is having 8 members. कितने members हैं? 8 members. Do you think in this amount he is able to manage all these things? नहीं. What does we learn? Population is also a big factor for the cause of poverty. Huge population. 250 sufficient for 1 or maximum for 2 if we think, but not for the 8 persons. 8 लोगों के लिए sufficient नहीं है. The women of the family spend the day in chopping fodders. चाय का चारा वारा करती रहती थी and collecting firewoods in the fields. लकड़ियां जमा करती रहती थी आग जलाने के लिए. ठीक है. लखा सिंह started his earning when he was 10 years old. जब वो 10 साल का था तभी उसने अपनी कमाई की शुरुआत कर दी थी. Now, what are the issues related to the poverty? First is landlessness. People don't have their own land. They have to forcefully work in the others' farmhouse. उनको दूसरों के farm house में काम करना पड़ता है. Unemployment, which we have discussed about the last chapter. Many types of unemployment was there. Size of the family is too big. The person who is earning member, is unable to fulfill all the food requirements of the large size of families. Illiteracy, because a literate person can earn more in comparison to a illiterate person, as we discussed in the last chapter. Poor health and malnutrition. हमारे यहाँ पे इंडिया के अंदर काफ़ी जगहों पे health is not up to date and malnutrition not fit. Child labor is also a big example of the issue related with the poverty and helplessness. They don't want to be helped. Poverty also means where persons are not getting clean water. There is a lack of clean water facilities, lack of proper sanitation facilities, proper नालियाँ नहीं है, proper drainage systems नहीं है, and many other types of problems are there. Lack of regular jobs where persons are not providing the jobs up to their capacities. Hunger, bhook, and lack of proper shelter. They are not able to sleep properly, they are not having their homes. It also means unavailability of education where childs are not getting proper education which they required. Unaffordability of health facilities, which is the primary cheese for everything, every person is required. Poor people are in a situation when they are ill-treated at almost every places in farm, factories, hospitals near you. You must have seen many places where poor persons are ill-treated. Mahatma Gandhi, the father of nation, always insisted that India would be truly independent only when the poorest of its people become free of human suffering. जब गरीब लोग बिल्कुल human suffering से free हो जाएंगे, तब really में India एक truly independent country माना जाएगा. This is the important saying of our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi ji. Poverty as a social scientist. Many social scientists have seen the poverty is looked through other social indicators like illiteracy, anpadta, lack of general assistance due to the malnutrition, kuposhanta, lack of access to the healthcare facilities, lack of good job opportunities, lack of access to safe drinking water and sanitation, नालियाँ वगैरह, साफ सफाई वगैरह, proper sanitations and many things are included in it. Basic analysis of poverty we are discussing about, there are two types of thing. One is social exclusions and one is vulnerability. What is social exclusion? People in our surroundings do not enjoy social equality with better off people. For example, caste system. You belong to that caste, I belong to upper caste, you belong to lower caste. That's the basic problem what a poverty suffers. And what is vulnerability? Certain sections of the society which have greater possibility of being poor than the others. This is an important point from the examinations. What is social exclusions? Unavailability of education. They are not getting proper education because there is unavailability. Another is unaffordability of health facilities. They don't enjoy good health facilities because there is no provisions. Lack of shelter, which we have discussed earlier also. Now, next is poverty line. As I have told you, what is poverty line? A common method used to measure poverty is based on the income or consumption levels. What I am earning and what I am spending. It depends on the both. Poverty line may vary with time and place. In 2010 it was different, in 2015 it is different, in 2020 is different, and 2030 it will be different. In India it is different, in America it is different. Place means country generally. Each country uses an imaginary line that is considered appropriate for its existing level of development and accepted minimum social norms. For example, it's a very beautiful example here. A person not having a car in United States is considered as a poor. गरीब आदमी इसके पास तो कार भी नहीं है. But in India, still owning a car means it's a luxury item. Wow, उसके पास कार है. Wow, he's a rich man. So it depends on country to country about the income. While determining the poverty line, I'm talking about the India, a minimum level of food requirement. How much a person is required food depends on the calories, clothing, footwears, fuel and light, education and medical requirements are determined for the subsistence. It determines the poverty line ratio in India. The present formula of food requirement is based on the desired calories requirement. Food items such as pulses, vegetables, milks, oil, sugar, cereals, all this needed calories. All these items provide us the calories. These are the some basic examples, charts, which thing you are getting. The accepted average calories requirement in India. I am talking about the rural India and urban areas. In rural areas, गांवों के अंदर 2400 calories per person per day is the minimum requirement of a calorie. While in the urban areas, it is only 2100. Why? Have you ever thought? क्यों? Rural persons do more of hard work in comparison to a urban. वो ज़्यादा हार्ड वर्क करते हैं. अर्बन एरियाज ज़्यादा मेंटल वर्क करते हैं. तो रूरल एरियाज को दे रिक्वायर्ड मोर कैलोरीज एंड अर्बन एरियाज दे रिक्वायर्ड लेस कैलोरीज. The monetary expenditure per capita needed for buying this calorie requirement in terms of food grains, etc. is revised periodically in consideration with the rise in price. What does it mean? He's saying that as the expenses go rise and rise, inflation is also increasing day by day. It depends कि how much calorie can be purchased for how much amount, so it keeps on changing. For the year 2011 and 12, I am talking about the data of the 11 and 12, the poverty line for a person was fixed rupees 816. Yes, 816 rupees per month for rural areas and 1000 for the urban areas. There are two different areas, rural and urban, and their poverty line areas are also fixed changes. Year 2011 and 12, a family of 5 members living in rural areas and earning less than rupees 4080 per month. Look at the data, 4080 will be below the poverty line. I am talking about the family of 5 members. A similar family in urban area would need minimum 5000 per month to meet their basic requirement. The data has been changed by the government for the rural area and for the urban area. These surveys are carried out by the National Sample Survey Organization NSSO. Now, it's an important question, why do different countries use different poverty line? Yes, you can explain me now. Earlier also I have told you the person incomes and the country's income is different in different countries. That's why different countries use different poverty lines as per the requirement.